Hi everyone, Joe Malarkey here with a Secure CRC case study. Have you ever heard of a company called Pathé or Pathé? I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. They're a French film production and theater chain. You'll see them around Europe. In fact, they have a theater subsidiary that's headquartered in Amsterdam. Now, in November, it was revealed that thieves had stolen $22 million, or about 19.2 million euros, from that Amsterdam subsidiary. The question we're going to look at today is, how did the thieves do it? Did the thieves come through the door, guns blazing, taking hostages? Nope, that's not how. Did they back the Brinks truck up to the side of the building, blow a hole in the wall, and stuff all the money through it? Nope, not that either. Did they at least walk in and hand the receptionist a stick-up note? No. Well, they didn't just send a politely worded email. What's this? Oh, yeah, that's all they did. You see, two executives from that subsidiary were tricked into wiring $22 million to cyber thieves posing as the company's CEO in a business email compromise attack. That's just a fancy word for getting tricked with email. The managing director at the time received the initial email from the CEO. He then discussed it with the finance director, after which the transfer was approved. Now, that first transfer was for just over 826,000 euros on March 8th. So just under $1 million US. A few days later, the finance director went on vacation. That's when the fun really started. 3 more transfers were then successfully approved over the next 3 weeks. The second transfer was for about 2.5 million euros, and the next 2 were for about 5.5 million euros apiece. Finally, on March 28th, somebody noticed, and the fraud was discovered. Now, needless to say, heads had to roll, and both the managing director and the finance director were fired. The CEO also left later in that year. Now, you might think this is a 1 in a million event, but it's not. In 2017, over $600 million was stolen using this same technique. Most times, nobody really has to bend the rules. Let's say the rule in this case was that 2 senior executives were required to sign off on any transfers. Well, in that case, the managing director and the finance director would count as those 2 executives. Now, in this case, the cyber criminals used a little psychology. When they sent the email to the managing director from the CEO's email account, the thieves told the director to use strictest confidentiality about the transaction and exchange emails solely with the CEO to ensure that their discussions remained free of any risk of disclosure so that they could achieve an advantage over their competitors. Now, this seemed reasonable to the managing director, at least for a while. BEC scams often use the need for secrecy or urgency. They know their odds of a successful heist go up when they can limit the circle of communication and shorten the time frames. So, how could it be prevented? Well, one simple way that many companies are adopting is to use a verifying out-of-band message or 2-factor non-electronic verification. In other words, putting an unbreakable rule in place that requires you to actually have to call somebody on the phone and hear their voice, or better yet, speak to them in person and verify that they asked you to transfer the money. The key phrase here is unbreakable rule. No matter what the urgency is, the company could be going under by the end of the day. There's no time to lose. No exceptions. Everyone has to buy into that. The facts of life are the world has changed, and anyone who's authorized to transfer money should be asking themselves, am I being scammed?